One of the highlights of an Alaskan cruise is navigating through fjords. Imagine gliding through a narrow, towering corridor of solid granite and ancient ice. For decades, Alaska's Tracy Arm Fjord has been the highlight of any northern cruise. Passengers crowd the open decks, cameras at the ready, transfixed by the incredible, silent beauty of the twin Sawyer glaciers. It looks like a tranquil, frozen paradise. But this majestic canyon conceals a violent, unpredictable threat. What happens when millions of tons of unstable rock and ice suddenly break loose and plummet into the deep, confined waters below? The result won't just be a splash, it will be a localized mega tsunami, an unstoppable, towering wall of water and rock-hard ice debris that violently erodes the shores, turning these narrow passages into death traps for any vessel caught in the epicenter. But why is this terrifying danger escalating now? The answer lies in the rapid retreat of these ancient glaciers. As the massive rivers of ice melt and pull back, they leave behind steep, sheer canyon walls that were once physically supported by millions of tons of frozen pressure. Without that ice holding the mountains together, these towering rock cliffs become fractured and dangerously unstable. This triggers a drastic, unpredictable increase in massive rock slides directly into the deep water below. It is no longer just the falling ice that captains must fear. It is the very mountainsides collapsing around them, making these once predictable scenic routes more hazardous than ever before. The danger has become so great and the glacial walls so unstable that the cruise industry is finally backing down. In an unprecedented move for the upcoming 2026 season, Holland America Line has completely canceled all scheduled visits to Tracy Arm Fjord. They refuse to risk the lives of their passengers and crew. Today, we explore the terrifying, unvarnished reality of glacier collapses. These are real stories of the incredible mega tsunamis they cause, and real ships that have had to contend with nature's sudden, icy wrath. The immense beauty of glaciers often masks their volatile and destructive nature. On June 25, 2022, the 85,000-ton cruise ship Norwegian Sun was navigating the freezing waters of Yakutat Bay near the colossal Hubbard Glacier. A dense, blinding fog suddenly rolled in. Visibility dropped to near zero. While radar can track large icebergs, it cannot detect what hides just beneath the surface. Without warning, the massive ship violently slammed into a growler, a rock-hard, jagged chunk of glacial ice floating mostly underwater. The terrifying impact shuddered through the steel hull, shaking the entire ship. The strike caused such severe damage to the vessel's bow that the captain was forced to turn around, dock for an emergency inspection, and ultimately cancel the rest of the voyage to limp back to Seattle for repairs. The danger is even greater when a vessel is right next to the ice as it falls. Deep in the steep, narrow waters of Tracy Arm Fjord, a small 65-foot tour boat named the Captain Cook learned this the hard way. On August 4, 2011, the boat navigated close to the towering face of a glacier. Suddenly, a deafening crack echoed through the canyon. A massive chunk of the glacier peeled away and plummeted into the sea. The impact did not just create a massive displacement wave, it acted like an explosive blast. It sent heavy, sharp chunks of solid ice flying through the air directly at the boat. The massive wave violently rocked the small vessel while ice rained down on the passengers. A 60-year-old woman was thrown to the deck by the violent motion, suffering a severe compound fracture to her leg in the chaos. Sometimes a ship doesn't even have the power to escape. Far at the bottom of the world, at Brown Bluff on the northern tip of the Antarctic Peninsula, the expedition cruise ship MS Fram faced a terrifying ordeal. On December 28, 2007, the vessel was navigating near a towering, sheer wall of glacial ice. Suddenly, the ship suffered a total power failure. The engines died, and the steering stopped responding. The 114-meter ship was completely dead in the water. Ocean currents took over, mercilessly pushing the helpless ship directly toward the vertical ice cliff. the vessel collided head-on with the glacier face. The immense force of the steel ship hitting the ice triggered a massive, localized avalanche. Huge blocks of solid glacial ice broke free and rained directly down onto the ship's forward deck. The falling ice was so incredibly heavy that it completely crushed and destroyed one of the ship's lifeboats. It was only by sheer luck that the outside viewing decks had been cleared just moments before the impact. Even the most modern megaships are not immune to the icy hazards of Alaska. On September 5, 2024, the massive cruise ship Carnival Spirit was carefully navigating the treacherous, ice-choked waters of Tracy Arm Fjord. Suddenly, the serene journey was violently interrupted. The colossal vessel struck a massive, rogue piece of floating glacial ice. The unexpected impact sent a chilling shudder right through the ship's steel structure. For the passengers on board, panic immediately set in, with many terrified witnesses describing the sudden strike as a heart-stopping, titanic moment. Knowing the catastrophic danger of a breached hull in freezing waters, the captain immediately ordered a full stop. The enormous ship sat dead in the icy water for 3 agonizing hours while the crew conducted emergency damage assessments. Miraculously, the heavy steel hull held strong. No critical damage was found, and the Carnival Spirit was able to slowly resume its voyage. But for everyone on board, it was a chilling reminder that in these narrow fjords, the ice always has the right of way. The terrifying incidents with the Norwegian Sun, the Carnival Spirit, and smaller tour boats prove one undeniable truth. Sailing too close to crumbling glaciers is a deadly gamble. The towering walls of Tracy Arm Fjord are becoming increasingly unstable. Unpredictable ice strikes, sudden rockfalls, and the constant threat of localized mega-tsunamis leave massive ships with nowhere to run in the narrow, steep canyon. The danger has finally reached a breaking point. For the 2026 cruise season, Holland America Line has made a massive, unprecedented decision. They have completely canceled all scheduled visits to Tracy Arm Fjord. The cruise line closely analyzed the deteriorating geological conditions. They determined that the extreme risk of catastrophic landslides, unpredictable ice displacement waves, and heavy submerged growlers is simply unacceptable. They refused to risk a catastrophic hull breach or a deadly tsunami strike that could cost the lives of their passengers and crew. Instead of playing a dangerous game of roulette with millions of tons of falling ice, all 2026 Holland America departures have been permanently rerouted to the safer, wider waters of Endicott Arm. The narrow, breathtaking corridors of Tracy Arm Fjord are now being left to the violent, untamed, and unforgiving forces of nature.